Hi, we are at war. That is the title of this series, and once again, we're looking at the topic of spiritual warfare. How does that impact you? How does that impact me? And how do we understand the battle that we're in? In the last episode, we were talking about where Satan came from, and I made the mention that Satan was thrown out of heaven. I want to come back and unpack that just a little bit more, and again answer the question for a second time, what caused Lucifer to fall from heaven? Because Lucifer was perfect until iniquity was found in him. That's according to Ezekiel 28:15. Isaiah 14:13 through 14 tells us what happened in Lucifer's heart when he rebelled against God. And I will read you those verses. It says, "For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." I said in the previous episode that ego got in Satan's way. Pride was what brought Satan to that moment that he fell. And he decided it was no longer good enough to be a perfect angel created in the beauty of God. He wanted to be the Most High. He desired God's place in heaven. He wanted his position, he wanted his power, he wanted his perfection, and he wanted his privilege. And when Lucifer became Satan because of the sin of his own heart, then and only then was he banished from heaven. Ezekiel 28:16-18 reminds us that his proud heart was the reason for his fall. And in Jesus' own words, he describes seeing it when he says in Luke 10:18, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." I think sometimes we skip past that verse and we don't think of the significance of it. But if you can imagine Jesus in sharing this, can you imagine the imagery and what Jesus was seeing in his mind when he said this, when he says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven"? It's not that Satan came down with a parachute. It's not like Satan came down and had a little soft landing. When he was tossed from heaven, it was like riding lightning, fast, bright, with power. God moved him out of that place that he had known for so long. And so we continue to think about the war that we're in, and we realize once again that God has drawn those battle lines, and we have to decide what side we're on. We are at war, but in the end, we do win because God is in charge, and God wins in the end. You and I get to be a part of that team. And so I'll join you next time as we continue our look at spiritual warfare.